taking over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. Hour 2 of Coast to Coast on midweek Where Do You Hurt Wednesday. Don't forget to get the SportsGrid app. It's phenomenal. Everybody's talking about it, and they have been for over, I think, a year and a half now, something like that. And it's because you can follow your favorite hosts like Carver High, and you can see stories, highlights, videos, odds, in-game odds. It has it all. How about this feature? It's free. How about this additional feature? You can watch SportsGrid TV right on the app, and it's included in the cost of free. Also, same thing with radio. It's got the listen button. You can listen to the network and not even have to look at anyone if you find them ugly, and there is potential for that around here. So get the app. I think you'll dig it on iOS or Android. All right, we go into some Dan Quinn here in hour 2, the suddenly successful coach with the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, we certainly do, Scotty. And, of course, after the big win on Monday night over the Bengals, Quinn said yesterday, one thing he does want Jaden Daniels to do is he wants to take things slow, Scotty. He doesn't have to make up for all the mistakes of quarterbacks past in the Washington organization, and they've had quite a few of them, basically just saying the fan base is excited. They think you're their franchise quarterback, but just be yourself. Don't get it all swallowed up in it so soon. They are off to a great start. They've won the last couple of weeks. They haven't punted in 2 weeks. Offense has really been humming, and now they're going to go on the road, Scotty, out west. Out road 2 weeks in a row, remember. They rode Cincinnati on Monday night as well. Back on the streets to Arizona, where they'll see the Cardinals. They're getting 3.5 in this spot against Arizona, and 50.5 is the total late window on Sunday.
You know, I'm not so sure that they're this, juggernaut, that they're just going to win every game, because he threw his first touchdown of the season to a 350-pound lineman the other night in the jungle in Cincinnati. So they're not world beaters. Let's calm down a little bit. They could very well go to Arizona and lose to Kyler, and they got all kinds of talent on that team now in terms of their draft picks, Harrison Jr., et cetera. So stranger things have happened, but there's no denying, and we talked about this ad nauseum yesterday on Coast to Coast, is how good he is, and how I firmly believe, and I'll say it again, I think he's better than Caleb Williams, hands down. You know what I hear about Caleb Williams, Mike? Seriously, tell me if I'm wrong. All I ever hear about is, the arm strength, and, oh, my God, his release angles, and how he can throw a strong arm ball to the sideline and complete it. It's generational. He's just the most fantastic strong-armed quarterback in the history of the National Football League. Stop. He has looked so average, it's not even funny. And he's not winning. And meanwhile, this kid is doing all kinds of stuff, throwing ropes, throwing bombs. His sneak, the whole defense bit. He hit the ball so well. Remember, Neighbors and this kid, Daniels, were at LSU together, and they're both, obviously, I think that those two are in the running for Rookie of the Year, and that's it. For me, it's those two, and there's no other discussion. I am not giving Caleb Williams with his, picks and fumbles. I'm not giving him anything. He's always telling you how great he is too. He's gonna, the world is yours, bro. You're you got it all figured out. He thinks he's gonna win the Super Bowl, do all this stuff, and I think it's a lot harder than he thinks it's gonna be. Because I think he, at a young age, and I'm gonna say it, I think he played at a high level since Pop Warner to playing at USC. And I'll say it again. I thought his last year at USC was a disaster. Once he got that Heisman Trophy, he didn't matter ever again at USC. I don't care what anybody says. They never won. So I like Daniels better. And I know we did that 2 days in a row, but I'm going to say it. I'm telling you, Neighbors and Daniels are both better than Caleb Williams. And so is Marvin Harrison Jr.
I do have those numbers coming up with you for some future stuff, too, on the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Daniels was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Jonathan Greenard of the Vikings, the defensive. Jack Fox, Lions punter, the NFC Players of the Week. Josh Allen, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Jalen Jones of the Colts and Will Lutz of the Broncos, also defensive and special teams players of the week in the AFC. The Bengals are the team that lost to Washington. They are 0-3 now, Scotty. Did you know? Here you go. 255 teams have started 0-3 during the Super Bowl era. Only 6 of them have made the playoffs. No 0-3 team has made the playoffs since the NFL expanded to its current format of 14 teams in 2020. So a very tough hill to climb for Cincinnati.
I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, they're supposed to be this, again, great team that is 0-3. All we hear about is how great they are. Now, look, I thought they had the Chiefs by the onions at Arrowhead. They should have won the game. They blew it. You fumble late, whatever, you lose games. Money time. You can't make mistakes in the fourth quarter. That's just all there is to it. But, it never happens. So, never is a very strong word. Never. It's never going to happen. Well, it did happen 6 times, and it's never happened in the Super Bowl era. So I guess you would take that bet that they're not going to do it. No one's ever done it since they started having Super Bowls. So if you're 0-3, you're effed. With capital bold letters when you type it online. You're effed.
All right. You are indeed. More numbers for you here as we get into week number 4. Last 20 years, teams that are undefeated against the spread in week 4, 37-52-2, 42%. 3-0 ATS teams, we gave you them yesterday. Vikings are at the Packers. Steelers are at the Colts. 42% in the last 20 years that those teams continue to cover in week 4.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what all that means. We've discussed the Steeler game. I think it's going to be more difficult than they imagine. I think that he respects them and knows that every game is a brutal stretch in the NFL. The Vikings at the Packers, everyone's talking about what you worried about, Willis. He's doing a great job. I think once he did a good job once. The other time he didn't do anything. So I don't think anyone knows what the Packers are about. I just know that winning at Lambeau Field is a pain in the ass. So I can see the Vikings. They're getting 2.5. Why are the Packers favored over the Vikings? The Vikings are undefeated. The Packers are favored because they're playing at Lambeau and because they got a great coach in LaFleur who's kind of building a Tomlin record when you think about it. He's so many games over 500 since he got that job. I actually find him immovable, and in the near future, he's immovable. I think he could literally survive 4 straight, bad seasons. He's won so many games. He's done so well there. He could actually survive let's say two bad seasons. If they had 2 awful seasons, which they never will under him, I still don't think they'd fire him. It's like Tomlin. When are these people in Pittsburgh going to realize? I know everyone's stupid. All my friends are stupid. But when are you going to realize that the Rooneys are never firing that guy? You'd literally have to have, I think, all the Rooneys pass away and some grandchild or some girl, boy, I don't care, dog that takes over the team decides he's had enough of Mike Tomlin. There's not going to be any Rooneys firing him. He's not getting fired. And everyone in Pittsburgh is dead wrong about him. And I think LaFleur has got that kind of juice, Mike.
I think he does too as well. I got some more numbers for you. We'll do those after I talk to Cam as we'll start the Golf Wednesdays here with the President's Cup coming up.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I am ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
And we are back for El Coast to Coast here on a Wednesday. That's right, it's back, a Golf Wednesday on C2C. And why? Because we have the President's Cup being played this weekend, internationals against the United States. It is a road game for the United States this year. They don't have to go very far, though, just north across the border to Royal Montreal, which is where they will be playing this weekend. And, of course, if it's a Golf Wednesday, we got to get the whole golf crew in here and get it rocking, including, of course, the Prime Minister, Cam Stewart, as we get ready. Hi, Cam. How are you? Are you ready for the President's Cup?
I'm loving this, Carver. Like, I'm excited for this President's Cup like I am for a Ryder Cup. Like, this is cool that it's in, Montreal, and the crazy French-Canadian fans, they're going to get all wild. Like, you think they're bad at a Habs game? If you give them a couple Molson Exports and get them wild, if the internationals do good, it could be chaos. America, a deeper team. Canada, though, one thing I've noticed, Carver, Mike Weir taking them out to the hockey game and stuff like this. He seems very, very prepared compared to President's Cup teams in the past. These guys really want to make an impression. They don't want to get blown out and get embarrassed in this thing. And I think it's going to be closer than expected.
It might be closer than expected, Cam. In fact, they just moments ago announced the pairings for the four-ball tomorrow, the opening event. Jason Day and Ben An against Xander Schauffele and Tony Finau in the first match. Adam Scott and Min-Woo Lee against Colin Morikawa and Sahith Theegala in the second match. Sungjae Im and Tom Kim against Scotty Scheffler and Russell Henley in the third match. Taylor Pendrith and Christian Bezuidenhout against Wyndham Clark and Keegan Bradley. And the last match of the day, Cam, will be Matsuyama and Corey Connors against Patrick Cantlay and Sam Burns. So just off the surface, Cam, before we give the picks for tomorrow's matchups, two things stick out for me. Number one, usually the X-Man and Cantlay are together on the U.S. side a lot, and they are not going to be, at least for tomorrow's festivities. And the other thing is, Cam, they didn't put any of the Canadians together. So you have Connors with Matsuyama, you have Pendrith with Bezuidenhout, and Mac Hughes didn't get in the lineup the first day.
I love that too, Carver. I don't want them together. And also, I like that Weir didn't put them out early. They're going to be very nervous, and you can't go down early. That's the whole thing. I think Captain Weir did a great job. Furyk also breaking up good friends, Scotty Scheffler and Mr. Burns in that. So two of the regular American teams, that's another one. People don't know about that, but Scheffler and Burns are best friends. So he's basically getting other guys acquainted. I think the internationals did a great job too, like Pendrith, the guy who murders the ball with Bezuidenhout, who has a good short game. I think both captains did a good job. We'll see how it works for America, because if they lose those matches, people are going to go, why didn't X-Man and Cantlay stay together and Scheffler and Burns?
Opens you up to a lot of problems, that's for sure, Cam. All right, let's rip through this here. We got a lot to do. Let's start with really just in terms of who do we think is going to win the entire thing. Then we'll get through all the individual guy stuff. Here's what I have, Cam. And the United States, of course, is a heavy favorite in this. They are minus 340 to win the President's Cup, plus 260 for the internationals. I am going to go, Cam, United States minus the 3.5 points, which is minus 130. Obviously, history tells you here that they have done a great job winning this. They've only lost it once. They've tied another time. Now, one thing scares me, Cam, is that on the road ones is where it's usually a little closer. When they do go on the road to wherever the internationals is. But this was juicy to me. U.S. to win by 4 to 6 points at plus 340. Those are my 2 plays to win the whole thing, Cam.
You know what? I think the USA wins too, Carver, but I think it's really close. So how do we attack this thing? Kind of like what you did from both sides. You got USA, and if they win by 4 or more, you're loaded. And for me, if USA wins by 3 or under, I'm laughing. So I got the USA to win between 1 and 3 points, plus 385. I like the internationals at plus 3.5 in this spot. So my goal is if they lose by 3 or less, I hit both. And internationals to get the first point. I kind of was waiting for this, but I like their matchup out of the gate. I'm glad they didn't play the Canadians. And I thought Mike Weir might do that. So I think it's imperative that they get off to a good start in this tournament. So I'll take it at plus money. It's kind of like a first round leader play, Carver. I think they come out of the gate and get people excited.
Hey, Cam, you got to be having Jason Day as your first one to potentially get you that first point. That's not a bad one there. Jason Day and Ben On is who you'll have against the X-Man and Tony Finau to start. All right, let me start with some of my guys here. Scotty Scheffler, top overall point scorer, plus 700 for me. There you go. Sahith Theegala, top U.S. I'm going to do a couple top U.S. Theegala's talked about this thing, Cam. He is so happy to be here. He's one of the few guys playing in one of these big events for the first time, plus 1,200, 12 to 1 for him to have the most points. Tom Kim on the international side for me, plus 750 to be the top international point scorer. I'll give you both of mine now here, Cam. And then Theegala, top rookie at plus 400. Bradley, top U.S. captain's pick at plus 750. And Corey Connors, top international captain pick at plus 330. Those are the individual props I've gone with so far.
I like the way you did it, Carver. You went for a little bit more, and I went a little bit safer, but still all plus money. So let's do this thing now. We both agree on Colin Morikawa. I think he's going to play great. I got him at plus 650. No, sorry, Tom Kim. That me and you, if Tom Kim is the top international point scorer at 750, this tournament's paid for. Colin Morikawa, perfect fit for this course. It's tight and dangerous. I like him there. Corey Connors, top Canadian. All he's got to beat is a couple guys here, and I think Corey Connors is the best golfer out of the Canadians. Adam Scott, basically against Jason Day and Minwoo Lee at top Australian. I know he's motivated. He wants to do better for as an older guy with the younger guys. And Tom Kim, top Korean. If we like him top international, take him top Korean too as well. I love that. And I have Theegala for top American rookie. Love it. And this is an interesting one. Minwoo Lee, top international rookie. It's basically a matchup bet. Minwoo Lee versus Mackenzie Hughes. I'll take Lee at minus 120.
Yeah, look, Cam, this is a lot of fun. I like the President's Cup. I know it probably doesn't get as much gas as the Ryder Cup gets. There's not as much history behind it, but it's a fun event. I think the internationals will have – I think they're going to push, Cam, for the first couple of days. I think it's the singles on Sunday where I just think the U.S., when you start to get guys like Scheffler and X-Man and Cantlay in there, I think that might overwhelm a little bit for the internationals on Sunday.
Great call. If the internationals have a lead, America can still win with the singles, but if they're down going into the singles, they might win by 7 points or more. It's going to be an absolute blowout. So I expect them to be up early and America to come back late.
Cam, I love that Golf Wednesdays is back.
Too,
and we do have some tournaments coming up here in October as well.
Oh, I hit a winner last week with Billy Horschel in Europe. He loves Europe. Yeah,
he won the BMW. Look at you. Nice job. Cam's doing it. Golf Wednesdays.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. Freddie, I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all season.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
So, Carver High, I have to ask, with the Prime Minister and yourself, who are these big bets for the President's Cup so I can lay down some money on them?
Yeah, I'm looking for the United States to win in I guess you could say a little bit of a blowout. I played the minus 3.5 points at minus 130, and then to win by 4 to 6 points at plus 340. That exact number. They got to win between 4 and 6 points. For that, I like Scheffler as the top point scorer overall at 7-1. I'm on Tagala top rookie. I'm on Tagala 12-1 top points. I like Tom Kim on the other side for most points for the international team. So I'm looking for a few of those guys. Tagala and Tom Kim are really the two guys that I'm looking at from each side, one from each side to score a lot.
And what about the Prime Minister?
Prime Minister, of course, and I don't blame him. He wants to see the international team keep it close. So he's got the internationals plus 3.5 at minus 105. But he does think the United States will win, but close. Win 1 to 3 points at plus 385. And he likes the internationals to get the first point, which we now know what that will be. They just announced the pairings for tomorrow's first event, the 4-ball, and he is going to be backing Jason Day, who is going to be with Ben On against the X-Man and Tony Finau. So that is the first 4 group that is going out tomorrow for the President's Cup to kick things off. So everybody very excited here for the President's Cup. And I know, Scotty, I was just saying to Cam, it's not as it doesn't get as much gas as the Ryder Cup. It doesn't have the history and the tradition and most importantly, the back and forth of winning, right? I think what makes the Ryder Cup so great is Europe and the United States, there's such a back and forth with how many times each has won it. You haven't had that with the President's Cup. The international team's only won once ever, and they tied another time. The United States beating them every single time other than that. So I think that's what also doesn't give it as much juice as the Ryder Cup.
Well, it's to me, it's competition of, us against them. It's war. I like them all. I like the Ryder Cup. I like this. I like brutal golf courses, as you know. I prefer the Open Championship to all others. This is a golf course eerily similar to that, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't care if there's not as much juice with the President's Cup. In whose opinion, whose mind is that? Because, these teams, they get named and everybody wants to be on them and everybody wants to compete. So I think it's better than weekly golf tournaments. Any way you slice it, it's just better. There's more juice. There's more intensity. You remember there was arguments in the parking lot at the Ryder Cup, like these guys getting in fights. Like, I love it. It's awesome. And again, the golf courses like in Scotland and et cetera, that they play the Open on, those are real, true tests of golf. And here, there's great golf courses, but they're all created that way. These places where they golfed, like Game of Thrones, they started golfing. That's how long ago it was. They got a patch of land and they put some high grass up and they're like, hit it into the wind. It's so much better than American golf courses. Like, honestly, the ones here are created. They're like, we're going to make the really thing, have waterfall over here, and we're going to cut some trees out, we're going to put a lot of bunkers in, we're going to have Bermuda grass. They do everything they can to make it as cool as these links courses. And they can't do it because they're cheese balls. And this is a true test of golf in Montreal. Great golf course. I'm excited for your bets. I can't wait to bet them.
I'm excited too. Getting the golf back involved here. I know it's a little tougher once football starts, but we are still going to be very, very involved.
Who said it? Who said it? Morency goes, remember when golf was in its heyday? Well, I think golf is very popular now. Not only the golf itself, but the betting on it is.
That's what's made it popular.
I think it's you go crazy for golf betting. And you bet more on golf than you do any other sport, including my favorite thing to say, it's stupid to bet on the NFL. All you're going to do is lose your money. If you hit 50% of your games in the NFL, you're telling the truth at best. All these guys, I was 72% last year. I'm going for 80 this year. Okay, fatso. Anyway, you bet more on golf than you do college football and NFL, and you know that's true.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. Freddie, I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all strong, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Who let the dogs out? Who? You got a lot lot of dog day afternoon action for me here?
We certainly do, Scotty. Of course, as we head into week number 4 of the NFL season, underdogs of 6 or more points, 12-1 ATS this season. 12-1. Are you kidding me? Broncos plus 7.5 for the Jets. The Jags are plus 7 in Houston. Patriots are plus 10 at San Francisco. Chargers are plus 8 against Kansas City at home. Lots of big dogs. I mean, 12-1. You've got to be, and a lot of outrights too. Don't forget that. A lot of them have won outright.
I guess I have a little bit of a feeling on the Broncos and the Chargers. I think I saw the Chargers play. Everything was going great until it wasn't. When Orange Sherbert got stepped on and hurt that ankle again and was done for the day, they were done for the day. You knew it. Like, it was inevitable. But that's, to me, at 8, it's at home, I believe. Is it not in SoFi? I think it is. And
that is in SoFi, yes.
Listen,
Game's in SoFi.
I think they're going to beat them outright. Forget about 8. They're going to win the game. So they have a great running game. They have a great quarterback. He is a great quarterback. He hasn't won anything, but he's great. That's why he makes all that money. He's really good. And he's big. Like, I saw him the other day. I was, right on the field. I'm literally right down there, and I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, he is something else. He's a statue. He's like, he's got it all. That's what they really like, that prototypical big quarterback, the strong arm, big guy. I know there's guys like Kyler Murray and that are small, and I don't deny he's awesome, but I'm not a fan of small quarterbacks. I like Josh Allen. I like guys that are big. And I think Fields is bigger than people give him credit for, too. He's ripped out of his mind, this guy. I mean, he's in the gym lifting, like shredding. He's enormous. I'm not a big fan of little guys, frankly, doing anything. So whatever. I think they can win the game outright. I really do. And the Broncos, to me, and the Jets, it's so automatic that the Jets are going to win that game that it's like the Giant game. They have no chance at all. The Jets losing to the Broncos, there's no one on the face of the earth that thinks they're going to lose that game. Just like the Commanders, 7.5. Give me the 7.5 with the Broncos against the Jets. The worst game of the week, Broncos-Jets, will turn out to be a humdinger.
By the way, I just went and looked. Harbaugh did say this afternoon that Herbert is out of the walking boot and he is going to practice today. So that's some good news for the Chargers as well heading into this week. All right, it is Wednesday. On Wednesday, I try to give you a couple futures here in the middle of the week. First, you mentioned these earlier. Offensive Rookie of the Year odds, of course, going into the season, it was Caleb Williams who was the favorite. That has obviously changed, Scotty. Jaden Daniels at plus 170 is now the favorite. Malik Neighbors at plus 250 is the second choice. Marvin Harrison Jr. plus 425 is the third. And then Caleb Williams at plus 550 is the fourth choice on the odds board right now.
I'm actually starting to think that Bo Nix has passed Caleb Williams in terms of getting it in the NFL. Like, he's figured it out in short order. He gets no love whatsoever. It's like he's homeless, like he's a squatter or something. I think he, won big last week. It's just the beginning for him. I think that's why Sean Payton's licking his chops. And none of those other guys. I'd give Worthy a crack. I think they like throwing to him in Kansas City. But, frankly, I think they got the first 3 right. I'm okay with Caleb Williams being fourth at best. I'd literally, I don't think Bo Nix is better than Bowers. But I think Bo Nix is giving Caleb Williams a run for his money at being like number 4. They got Nix at 6. And those odds say that he's not going to win it at all. He's not going to do it. But I like to ride this wave of Williams. When is this going to happen, this transformation of the Bears? Because they said it was going to happen this year. First year, automatic. It's happening automatic. We're winning it all. So I want to see it come to fruition like Justin Fields, where in 5 years he's playing for the Steelers because he never got it done. He's a big superstar, only on Hard Knocks. But on the football field, he's not winning anything.
No, he is not. That's for sure. And what a shame it would be if it stayed that way.
Next. What a horrible shame.
What a shame. Comeback player of the year. Now, Aaron Rodgers is even money. Of course, with him not playing last year, as long as the Jets are going to do well, he'll be the favorite. But there's two names, Scotty, that have gone up the board here. And now remember, this changes fast. Last year, Joe Flacco won, and he didn't even play until week 14. So you got to remember how these things work sometimes. Darnold is plus 625. And DeMar Hamlin, who many feel should have won last year just because he played a snap or two. Well, guess what? He's playing more than a snap or two this year, Scotty. He's their starting safety. He had a big pick the other night in that game, Monday night game for the Bills. He has now made a presence on the board at 9-1.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to argue with Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins coming back from Achilles tears. Joe Burrow is putting up big numbers but not winning, so thanks so much for coming. The exit's at the back of the stage. Go left. And then Hamlin, everyone loves Hamlin because he died. They brought him back. I was near death. They brought me back. So I can see why people root for him and not me. Most people had voted, as you know, in a survey, Carver High, 8 out of 10 dentists voted me dead. They wanted me dead, actually. Get rid of him. Good riddance. But Joe Burrow, please. Frosty the Snowman tips, okay? You're not winning. Why don't you wear some more drip on the red carpet? Go to some more galas, the Met Gala. Go to the Oscars and show your fancy. How about a Formula One race? I know how famous you are now. You don't win either, apparently. So, to me, Fields is doing better than Joe Burrow. What Fields is doing at 3-0 in Pittsburgh, that goes unnoticed? Of course it does. Because people think he sucks because of the problem was the Chicago Bears, not Justin Fields. And we're finding that out in short order, right, too, that the buffoons that run the Bears over the last several years. Now, I'm not saying Warren is a buffoon. He's got legitimate power as president, CEO, everything else. And he did a great job wherever he's been, Big Ten, whatever. But he's now in charge. When they had the previous regimes in Chicago that all crumbled and died and burned, they're the ones that screwed up Justin Fields.
They certainly are. Odds to win the AFC and the NFC here. We'll quickly slide these in before we move on to the baseball. The Chiefs are still the favorite in the AFC, followed by the Bills and then the Ravens, Texans, Jets. They still have the Bengals up there ahead of a lot of teams. On the NFC side, the Niners are the favorite, even though they're 1-2. Eagles, Lions, Packers, Vikings, Cowboys have been slipping down that list.
I'm glad that we show these every week and that I can actually, suffice it to say, none of it matters whatsoever, but we still do it, and it's cool, right? We still have all the odds for things that are going to change over the next several weeks. Remember, they play 18 weeks, 17 games, and at 3 wins. I remember when the Steelers were 11-0, and I had a little excitement. I thought they were going to win their 7th Super Bowl, and they crumbled. So I don't believe any of this stuff. 3-0, 0-3. I do believe 0-3, you're in big trouble, mister. You're not making anything. So once again, the Bengals, they gave that guy all that money, and he's so famous. He's so famous he can't win.
He's so famous he can't win. Indeed. There you go. I'll give you the A. But remember, those odds do change, but you might be able to get somebody now at a nice price. You're not going to get them later at that price. So that's what we look for.
Oh, I like it. I'm all for it, but it's all going to change dramatically.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. Brady, I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Everybody loves Coast to Coast because it's so kick-ass. We're good even when we suck. We really are. I mean, at some point, you just have to start getting cocky. Anyway, let's go to baseball now because I want to get cocky with playoff baseball. I want to get, some excitement going around here. There's nothing like the postseason in these sports, all of them. And these regular seasons just, they dribble on and on. It just never ends, these seasons. Baseball is the longest yard, right? It just never ends. And then when they get to the playoffs, it's so fast, right? It's like a month and a week, and we determine a World Series winner. So it's all that matters. I think the regular season in baseball is it's literally a funeral. There's some nights where it's more fun hitting your taters than it is watching a baseball game. It's way more fun checking to see your ring the bell tweets on X than it is watching. If I watch 3 innings of a baseball game, I am on Dilaudid. I am literally floating and seeing things. So I can't take it.
We did do all right last night. I know I threw Judge out there to everybody here on Coast to Coast, and he ended up homering. And I threw Vientos out there after the show on Twitter, X, and he ended up homering for the Mets in that loss. So we did have a couple of long balls last night, which is nice to see. All right, let's get caught up on a few things, Scotty, before we head into tonight. Orioles did beat the Yankees 5-3. They clinched a berth in the postseason. They are still mathematically alive for the AL East. They would have to, of course, win their last 5 games, and the Yankees would have to lose their last 5 games in order to get that. Here, I don't know. I'm sure you were watching this last night. Of course, there was a couple of very significant plays. First of all, the Yankees had a chance to tie the game in the bottom of the 7th. Did you see Torres get thrown out, Scotty, with another awful base running error in that game? Just pathetic by Torres as he was rounding third. They stopped him. Then he started going and stopping, and he got picked off. Could have been the tying run. Didn't happen there. And then I don't know if you saw this Colton Cowser home run. We've seen a lot of home runs in the new Yankee Stadium. I don't know. I probably could count on one hand ones that I saw go this far, about 20 rows up in the right field bleachers. Colton Cowser last night on Masson.
For the Orioles, they get out of it with a 1-run lead. Cowser bombs away. Colton Cowser. Oh my goodness. That ball is all the way to Westchester. More towards Long Island, actually. But
the milkman in the house, huh? Stretch one out, kid, and he stretched that one out.
432 feet, a little 8th inning insurance.
What just happened there with the Westchester line? Like no one goes there. Some people they go to that airport up there for that JetBlue flight to Florida.
One guy, he says Westchester, and then the color guy butts in and goes, no, he hit it to Long Island, not to Westchester. He hit it to Long Island. They both were trying to show how much they know about the New York City area there while they were doing the game.
We don't need help here.
And let me tell you something. They said 432 feet. They cheaped that guy. That was cheap. That was way. I felt like more than 432. That's how far he hit it. 475 at least. So I told you.
We give the final number here on C2C. We'll be the
what
judge.
We say is what goes. Torres has been awful on the bases, really awful in a lot of things all year.
Day.
Now after the game, Judge put it on Torres. Torres put it on himself. Everybody, he took the blame. I made a mistake. Judge says we can't have this happen. Made a mistake. Everybody basically took the blame, except, who do you think? Aaron Boone. What did he do for Gleyber Torres, Scotty? He made excuses. Here's Aaron Boone.
Gleyber's now tied for most outs at home plate. Are you at all concerned with his base running going into October?
I mean, you have the context on all the outs at home plate?
Not on me, but he is tied for most outs made at home plate.
Yeah, I mean, a handful of those are 2 outs, bang plays on an aggressive send. So it's important to have context with that.
This guy is
he does make some mistakes on the bases. He's cleaned it up a lot from, I think last year and the year before where he was getting himself in trouble a lot. I think in his case toned down some of the aggressiveness, but I think also tonight is a case of protecting a runner too. But again, it's got to be bluff or sell out and go.
I got to tell you that this guy tries to pull the wool over everyone's eyes that he's smarter than them about baseball, and he really isn't. He is one of the great bullshackers of all time. He literally, this guy could sell you milk that your kid just ate cereal out of, and you'd buy it and drink it down with, Lucky Charms floating around in it as your milk, okay? This guy could sell caskets to dead people. I mean, honestly, that's why he's got the job. He really does. It's so funny to me, like, bro, does anyone realize that this guy, he was a horrible baseball player? Horrible. I mean, with a capital horrible. And then now he's suddenly a genius because he's the manager of the Yankees. What he has is the power of the New York Yankees behind him, and he can say whatever he wants, and people eat it up.
People do eat it up, that's for sure. Nestor Cortez also getting an MRI on his left elbow. He's finished.
He went on the IL today. He's done.
Yeah, he's done. Royals did beat the Nationals 1-0 last night in 10 innings, so they snapped their losing streak. The Twins lost at home to the Marlins 4-1. Awful. What does that mean? You talk about a pike job. I mean, honestly, losing to the Fish in your own building. Royals and the Tigers, 83 and 74, tied for the second and third final wild card spots. The Twins are now 2 back of both of them. And the Mariners, who are winning this afternoon in Houston right now, they just got a Julio Rodriguez homer. They will go to 2 games back as well after this. I think the Twins are finished, Scotty. I think the Tigers and the Royals, I know that's easy to say now. The Twins are done. They've packed it in.
Well, I mean, who cares? The Yankees would have beat them anyway. Every time they play the Yankees, they lose. I'd rather see the Royals and Witt. I'd rather see the Tigers and Skubal in the postseason. What a job by A.J. Hinch, the cheater, that he's done in Detroit to turn the fortunes of the Tigers around.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in the set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all season long.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Well, Mike, I'm starting to worry about the Mets, even though they have a half-game lead over Arizona. It's tenuous at best when you're playing the final weekend in Atlanta against the Braves, who are desperate to get in, and they're starting to look like they will get in. And you know the deal. We've been talking about it. It is pouring in Atlanta this evening, and it's going to rain all night. They're not. If they get that game in, I can't wait to see it, because it looks like this glob of hurricane pre-drip, before the thing hits, these bands. I mean, they are getting clobbered down there right now, and anything could happen. But if I'm the Mets, I'm very worried about this team they're playing can beat them in Atlanta.
Yeah, look, it's very difficult, especially with what happened last night. And look, we've kind of said this earlier. I don't see any way they're going to play tonight or tomorrow. Now, look, if the Mets took 2 out of 3 this week, let's say they don't play these games, and the Mets take 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee, and the Braves lose 2 out of 3 to the Royals this weekend, the Mets would be in. They wouldn't have to worry about this. But they might still get dragged to Atlanta because it depends on what happens with Arizona. So there's a lot of moving parts with all of these weather situations that are going to go on. Here's one thing for the Mets last night, Scotty. 2 bad things. They couldn't hit Spencer Schwellenbach, and they had big problems with Michael Harris II on Bally Sports South.
Out to left field, pretty deep. That's going to keep going, and it's going to get out of here. Michael Harris, a single, a double, and now a homer, and it's only the 4th inning. He is in an absolute zone right now.
Well, there you have it. And you look at these teams; they're a half game out. You just have this feeling, right? Because Arizona's 5-5 in their last 10. They've lost 3 in a row. Meanwhile, the Braves are, picking up the first game. If they win tonight, that series is over. They will win the series, and that'll be that. And I don't think the Mets can afford that. But they're still sitting. It would seem comfortably numb, a half game up on that third wild card. But that's lose a game and the other team wins a game and you're done.
Yeah, look, I think the Mets are going to get in, and I think it's going to be I think they're going to get helped here. I think it's going to help them that they're not playing these games the next couple of days, potentially. I know that's not official yet. Because here's why, Scotty. Think about this. If they do, they're not going to see Sale, and they're not going to see Fried. The Braves are going to have to pitch those guys Friday and Saturday against the Royals because they need to stay. They need to make sure they get to Monday. So they're going to pitch Sale and Fried in those games, and the Mets will miss Sale Monday in the doubleheader, which I think helps them in a big way if it gets to that. And the Diamondbacks don't win anymore. They lost 11-0 to the Giants last night. Padres are in. They beat the Dodgers 4-2 the Did you see this triple play this guy they made to end this game against the Dodgers last night? Well, why don't you relive it? MLB Network. Here we go.
Rojas on the ground at third. Machado touches third, fires to second. Out at first. Oh, my goodness. It's a triple play. It ends the ball game. The San Diego Padres have clinched their spot in the postseason after a magical 2024 campaign. Will this finally be the year for the faithful?
The Friar faithful. Great job by that guy calling the game. And the Friars are in the postseason again, as we all know. They have the best, ice cream in the business, and they also have just a great ballpark, great fans, sold out every game, and they're winners. They're better now than they were when they had all the star players like Soto, etc. They're better now without them, and that's truly amazing. Yep. Frankly, the job that Preller's done out there is really fantastic work by him, because people were blaming him when they didn't make the playoffs. They wanted him gone, and now he's turned them into a playoff team again. Who gets the last laugh?
They are 2 back of the Dodgers for the NL West, so that is not sewn up. They play again tonight in Chavez Ravine to get it to 1 potentially here. We'll give you those numbers when we come back. Here's where it sits. The Padres, of course, will be the first wild card if they don't win the division. Mets, 87-70. Diamondbacks, 87-71. Braves, 86-71. So Mets have a full game on the Braves and a half game on the Diamondbacks as we get ready for tonight. When we come back, I will give you all the numbers for tonight's games all around baseball.
I mean, that's crazy. And these games are enormous heading into the final weekend. I mean, everything that's happening on really Wednesday and Thursday and rolls into the final 3 days, it's going to be chaos, just the way, frankly, baseball was when they started doing wild cards.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in the set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Crew has already clinched the National League. Said they're 2 games behind LA. That being the Dodgers, trying to maybe get the 2nd seed in the National League standings for October.
Both of these teams have a chance to score some runs against these pitching matchups, so maybe another over, even though we do have a playoff atmosphere. And yes, Milwaukee did clinch, but there's still an eye on the prize of we might be able to chase down the Dodgers and also the Phillies to get one of those buys.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.